What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, it's your boy Rashid. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into this live. Not going to be on here for a long time. Got to get up in the morning. But I wanted to actually touch up on this whole Micheal Porter trade news over here, trade buzz that's actually happened, which I think is complete insanity. And this is all perpetuated by the media out there who wants to really see the Brooklyn Nets fail. And I believe that they can actually be secret, like, they could be on the payroll of James Dolan. That would not surprise me in the least because billionaires really, really hate competition. And they do not want the Brooklyn Nets, especially like a James Dolan, to really thrive and succeed. Right now, I mean, the Brooklyn Nets, it doesn't look like it right now, but like in the next 2 or 3 years, depending on the moves that they make, I mean, they're going to be really a better team than the actual Knicks. So we'll get into that. That'll be like a future like show right there. We can get into that, man. But let's get into the actual article and the trade package that Gilio, what's good, man? What's good with you, man? Salute to you. The trade package that they actually really trying to propose here, which is like insane, man, because the Brooklyn Nets really clearly won this trade when you look at the numbers that Cam Johnson's actually putting up and the numbers that Micheal Porter Jr. is really putting up. So, and it looks like, you look at the record, that's what really matters, who's actually winning. But the Nets, they really kind of getting things together since Cam Thomas, left the lineup with injury. The Nets are actually playing much, much better, man. So Micheal Porter Jr. has been putting up the numbers, but he can't do everything. His other teammates have to step up. And boy, are they all stepping up. And I say, listen, hold it back some. We don't want to win too many games. The way it's actually looking right now, I mean, this team could make the play-in tournament, if they keep playing this well, like moving the basketball and playing defense, playing hard. They got the Nets actually have a lot of depth in terms of like the rookies. I mean, playing hard will actually keep you in games. All right, so let's not waste any time. Let's get into the actual crazy trade that package that they are talking about over here. And it says, let me get into it. Oh, so this comes from Bleacher Report. Zach Buckley proposed a mock trade that involves the Nets and a team they recently beat, the Chicago Bulls. In this deal, the Brooklyn would give up its leading scorer while Chicago would take a gamble and sell a prized possession with a bit of insurance. So the Bulls received Micheal Porter Jr., Nets received Patrick Williams, Zach Collins, a 2026 first-round pick, top 7 unprotected. Now, the pick, definitely seems great. Yeah, top 7, but there is no guarantee that the draft pick is actually going to hit. We don't know. I mean, it's all question marks, man. We know what we have in Micheal Porter Jr. right here, right now. So the Nets won this trade with Cam Johnson. Why screw it up just for and like if I'm going to get a new car, if I have an old car right now, I'm not going to just get rid of it and not get a newer car or another or a replacement pretty much. This is insane over here, man. What is it? Zach Collins, Patrick Williams. I mean, Micheal Porter Jr., the way you can actually utilize him, in different matchups is crazy. You could put him as a 2 guard. He could post up smaller defenders. You could put him as a small ball 5, which causes basketball is pretty much about matchups. So you put him at the 4, you put him at the 5. Big centers, like plotting centers, like big slower centers, 250, 260, 270. They don't want to be out there in that perimeter guarding, chasing Micheal Porter Jr. around screens or even just guarding him on the perimeter, period, man. So it's actually perfect for like in terms of what you can actually do with Micheal Porter Jr. right there, man. And you're not going to just find that in the draft right there. I'm sorry, man. It's just this is crazy over here, man. I just think these guys want the Brooklyn Nets to fail. So it says over here, where is it? Okay. It says Brooklyn's arguably to his detriment, hasn't tanked as hard as some basketball others bottom feeders. The organization, though, hasn't lost sight of his biggest long-term directives. All right, so there's no guarantee, even the Nets actually really tank, that they are going to get a top 3 pick. So it doesn't really matter at this point. Like the raffle, the Nets, the lottery, the draft is like a raffle pretty much. So let's say if you actually play a raffle, like different jobs have raffles for different prices, of TV, microwave, whatever. Someone can buy like 200 tickets, and versus the person that only bought 3 or 4 tickets can actually win that top prize. Meanwhile, you actually bought 200 tickets, and you might not get anything. So that's what it's like with this lottery, this draft coming up over here, man. There's no guarantees that they can get an AJ DeBonsta, Darren Peterson. I'm not like, I'd rather play Micheal Porter Jr., let's say, the first 3 quarters and just sit him the 4th quarter. So he's expressed interest in actually really just wanting to stay here. And we look at the numbers of Cam Johnson and what he's actually putting up. Let me get to these numbers. Let's see. Hold on. Tanking games won't exactly. Like tanking games won't guarantee you any top draft picks. All I gotta say is that is don't expect anything from Sean Marks come the trade deadline. Let's hope that's actually really truly the case right there, man. So let me get these numbers up from Cam Johnson. And the Nets actually really won this trade, man. I mean, because Micheal Porter Jr., hopefully he actually makes an all-star team. I mean, he definitely deserves it. And what I like from Micheal Porter Jr. is I thought when he came over here, it was going to be like, all right, his contract right now is fully guaranteed for the next couple of years. And normally you would see like a Micheal Porter Jr. play like this in a contract year. But the fact that he's actually really doing this when his contract is up for another 2 years says really a lot about him character-wise. And I definitely want to keep him on the team for the future, man, because he's like a pretty much a matchup nightmare, man. It's the same thing with like Danny Wolf, man. We're going to get into him for in a future video. I think probably tomorrow's live stream is that maybe Sean Marks should get fired for not drafting Danny Wolf earlier, because he could have missed out on him. And we're going to get into the specialties of Danny Wolf in tomorrow's live stream. Hold on, he says doing that, although it needs to be, yeah. That's true, man. Like, because the way Micheal Porter Jr. is playing, man, I mean, he's playing like an all-star, man. He's the perfect fit for any team in the NBA, in the NBA, especially like on a championship team. And if you want to really make it to the NBA, just learn how to play like Micheal Porter Jr., man. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He doesn't need to dribble 5 or 6 times or 8 times just to get his shot off. It's all based off movement, off ball, like cutting, moving without the basketball, scoring in triple threat, man. I mean, that is so valuable, man, especially like when you look at the NBA and the shot clock, so you only have 19 seconds on the shot clock because you actually have to bring the ball up past the half court. And once that happens, now you got 19 seconds on the shot clock to work with, man. So efficiency is key, man. He says, do you see any team? No. Actually, I just did a video. After this live stream, I'm going to edit the video and then put it out probably tomorrow morning or tonight. I'll see how I actually feel. But I just did a video before I did this live on the whole Cam Thomas situation, man. And he better get his passports ready, right? Because he will be in China next year. Quite China Hall. Kobe Bryant, Cam Thomas. He'll be like the Kobe Bryant of China. So I'm definitely getting my Chinese basketball package ready. I got to see how I'm going to watch that and then watch Cam Thomas in China next year, man. Definitely, man. Yeah, I think I'm joking around when I actually say that, man. I'm being dead serious, man. We've seen a lot of players in the NBA. I've been watching. I'm 47 years old. I've been watching the NBA since I was like 15, 16 years old, man. I've seen so many players come and go, man. So many players come and go. Um, that Bulls pick would likely be a lottery pick having to. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, getting nothing for Cam, and I want them to actually have Cam Thomas on the roster because he will contribute more to winning because like Cam Thomas will be playing contract basketball rather than team basketball, and that's really the problem, man. He's going out there looking to prove himself that he is that guy. He can put up a lot of numbers and like nothing gets through to Cam Thomas. Dude, it's not the numbers, it's the defense. And then you have like, 6'8" guys, 6'7", 6'8" guys that can score like Cam Thomas, man. But I'm gonna put that video out, as soon as I'm done with this live stream. I just gotta edit it. All right, so let me show you the numbers when it comes to Cam Thomas. I'm sorry, Cam Johnson, and how is he doing in Denver? What do you guys actually think in the chat, man? Did the Nets actually win that trade? I like Cam Johnson, but Micheal Porter Jr. is showing, that he is like an all-star, caliber player, man. Just better than Micheal. Like if the Knicks had like Micheal Porter Jr. right now, I mean, they probably could win a championship, man. Because I was saying how, and it's not about like, like Micheal Porter Jr. is this superior, like player, is like skill wise. It's really about value, man. And just him, he's taller, a little bit stronger. And then also with Micheal Porter Jr., he's actually really doing it on the defensive end too. It's not just like putting up like, empty calorie stats or anything like that, man. He's playing defense. He's, getting deflections, getting steals. I'm just, surprised. I was trashing Micheal Porter Jr., in the summertime when the Nets first got him. And Denver made a huge mistake because even like if Micheal Porter Jr. was playing like this in Denver, that puts them, they can give OKC a run for their money. Like that series can go like probably 6 or 7 games because of like the matchup problems that Micheal Porter Jr. actually really presents, man. Y'all guys, because like I said, I play a lot. I'm a big guy, and I do not like playing on the perimeter, man. Having to chase guys off the 3-point line. Especially a guy like Micheal Porter Jr. who's shooting was almost 38%. Let's look at I haven't used StreamYard. I haven't used this in a minute over here, man. Let me see. All right, let's go. Let's see. Let's look up the numbers. Cam Johnson. And let's look up the numbers that he's actually really putting up and stats. And in Denver this year, he is, let me minimize the screen for myself. He is averaging 11.4 points a game. He's shooting 39% from the 3-point line on that's a damn. He's not really being utilized that much though, man. It seems like, man. 30 minutes a game in terms of like him just getting the ball, man. So we see like low like Micheal Porter Jr. is not really dominating the basketball either, man. And look at the numbers that Micheal Porter Jr. is putting up compared to like the touches that Cam Johnson is actually really getting, man. So and then Micheal Porter Jr. is like averaging 3.2 assists per game, 25.6 points per game. Now, if you can get those assist numbers up, let's say if you can get to like 5, 6 assists a game, I mean, he's definitely a shoo-in for the All-Star game, man. And then he says, Cam Thomas has improved on evaluated players around him since he's been here. And yeah, I agree with this. MPJ is doing what we thought we could see in Cam Thomas or Cam Johnson. I definitely agree with that, man. And if I'm Cam Thomas, I'm studying Micheal Porter Jr., but again, he's going to be doing that in China, man. I mean, he's got to learn some Mandarin, man. You know, he has to learn some Mandarin Chinese, man. It's going to be an adjustment for him. It's going to be a real big old adjustment for him, man. So Bleacher Report, you know, like I said, they want to see the Brooklyn Nets fail. There's like I mean now I gotta even look at because I was a big fan of Cameron Boozer and now I'm looking at him now and saying like, well, is he better than Micheal Porter Jr.? Because I compare a lot of these players, man, and what they're going to be. You know, I compare current NBA players. This is how I can tell, you know, who's good, who's not good. You know, that's the same thing I was saying with Cam Thomas. You know, basketball is not hard. This is like relatively simple. I could just look at Cam Thomas, and I will say, well, how does he measure up compared to like a lot of the top shooting guards around the league? And he just doesn't actually do it, man. You know, in terms of like the athleticism and compared to like the Kay Cunningham's and King Ribby, what's good over here, man? Yo, listen, man, you one of the best Knicks fans out there because I have another video coming out with the Knicks. You know, I think it was with what's his name? What's that white boy's name, man? He's trashing the Brooklyn Nets in terms of the fan base. But yeah, King Ribby, what's good with you, man? I forgot to do his name. I got it over here, man. But so what was all right? So what do you guys actually really think about this, man? The Bulls, is this a good trade? And I think there's more trade buzz out there. If the Nets already got a bunch of picks already, but it's time to really start building this team up, man. You look at Noah Clowney, how the way he's playing, Danny Wolf, you put Micheal Porter Jr. in there, and then let's say, you know, if they really get the actual number 1 through 3 pick, man. If they can get like Cam Boozer or AJ DeBonsta, man, now this team is actually starting to really make the playoffs this year, and it makes the team definitely more interesting to talk about, you know, definitely in the future. It's interesting to talk about right now because the way Danny Wolf is playing and Micheal Porter Jr. is playing, but like you get an AJ DeBonsta on the Brooklyn Nets, that's definitely, man, a step in the right direction, and they could probably make the playoffs, you know, next season, man. You know, so let me see what's all right. Let me that's all I got right now. I'm gonna try to do a longer live stream tomorrow night. I gotta get up at 7:30 in the morning. So I will wrap this video up. Definitely like, comment, subscribe, certainly share the stream, and then when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.